Thank you. All right, that's what it says. Hi, everybody. All right, I'll take that. That's fine. You guys are drunk, right? That's all right, man. I'll be drinking too if I weren't working. And also, well, I say that, but I don't really drink in front of people. I get a bit self-conscious when I drink. I'm gonna tell you why. It's like what you call a toxic masculinity issue, right? I like cocktails. I really like cocktails. Like the camper the better. Like you could put a straw in a Christmas tree and I'll drink that shit. I really like cocktails. It's very hard for me to say that, but I like them. I find them delicious. I find them fruity. I find them scrumptious. It was you. You was surrounded by your friends making heckles in the shadows. It's a very courageous act. Well done. It takes a lot of bravery to do that. Well done, sir. I'm aware that you don't normally see 6-foot black guys from South London use words like scrumptious. Which is fucked up, because if I say scrumptious, people make assumptions about my lifestyle. So I can't really use words like that, which is not good. I should be able to say whatever I want, because I want to keep up appearances. However, if I can't say scrumptious, well, how the fuck am I going to do Bake Off? No, because all the comedians do Bake Off. I want to do Bake Off too, but I've got to act like I'm tough because I'm from South London. That's not going to work when Mary Berry's like, hey Dane, here you go, how's that red velvet cake? And I'm like, oh, it's yes, we're right, bro. Still, yeah. Proper decent and that, you get me? Like good buttercream filling and that, you get me, bro? It's not how you describe cakes. I need to be more like brave about this because I'll go out with my friends from South, we grew up together, we'll go to like a nightclub and I feel, I get hankering for myself to get a cocktail. Approach the bartender, I'm like, excuse me, could I have a rum punch please? My friends are like, what did you just ask for, bro? No, I said, can I have a rum before I punch someone in the face? That's what, obviously, bring my drink, bro. I'm fucking playing, I don't have any friends. I don't need them to do my jokes. I do my dirt all by my lonely. That's how I do. And also I fucking hate nightclubs. Well, I don't hate nightclubs. Nightclubs are strange things in London. Because I don't know how this works. You go into a nightclub toilet, by some magic, now you're in a newsagent, and there's a guy selling lollipops and chewing gum. An aftershave. And if you ask nicely, you get a freestyle with your aftershave. I don't know how that works. Now, the thing is, I say it's cool. Entrepreneurship, I encourage it. You make your money however you want. I just don't know when lollipops and chewing gum became essential items for the nightclub experience. I don't know, if I worked in a nightclub toilet, I would sell things that clubbers actually need. Lines of cocaine, Viagra, various antibiotics, the morning after pill, an alibi, things you need to enrich your experience. Now I bring up the morning after pill because I've been thinking lately, I do not think it's fair that in 2019, the responsibility of birth control still lies with women alone. That shit's fucked up. Yeah. That's right, a few bareback riders in the audience tonight. Yes! I love you so much. That's right, ladies. That's right, Jesus is my condom. Anyway. Don't encourage me. Make sure you get regularly checked, everybody. I always used to get my regular checkup. You know, it used to be fucked up if you go to like a STD clinic. Like some people would go there and they have like books and stuff. And I'm like, you come here so often, you know how to pass the time? That's fucking crazy. You want to go to dinner? Anyway, I'm just saying that, you know, there's a real stigma if a woman has to go to the chemist or like pharmacist to get a morning after pill, like she gets the 3rd degree, whereas with men now, you can get Viagra without prescription, no questions asked. And that shit is not fair. Right? Because you know, if you're a lady, you go to get your morning after pill, they're like, why? Why'd you need it? Who have you been? What's your problem? Why are you being such a whore? Like, it's not fair. Men don't get the same kind of interrogation. If you're like, Viagra please, why? What's wrong with your dick? Can't you buy a Porsche? What's wrong with you, bitch? Now, I know we can't change the world in a day. But gentlemen, like, we can compromise at this stage. We know that the ladies enjoy chocolate from time to time. The least we could have done is made chocolate-covered birth control. You know, at least then, ladies, it's a bit like an advent calendar, right? Just add some fun to the activity. It's a little bit festive this time of year. Just saying, like, you guys together, right? Wouldn't it be a lot more courteous to approach your lovely lady here, be like, hey, baby, Valentine's Day, you know I love you, tonight's special. Got the hotel, champagne on chill, but also, here's a box of Cadbury's precautions. Make sure we having fun. And guess what? No nuts. So, I gotta say that, like, some of you will be aware now that men, they are now developing, and it is being trialed that men can now take like the contraceptive pill or have a patch, which is cool, but is also kind of a hollow gesture. Maybe instead of trying to develop a pill for men, maybe give women autonomy over their own bodies and stop trying to legislate against the rule. But that's another conversation for another time. I don't have much time, but we'll get into it. But I'm just saying, you know, it's not the same thing. It's like when people go to McDonald's to get an extra value meal and they say, what would you like to drink? And it's like, Diet Coke. If you wanted to diet, you wouldn't be in fucking McDonald's, alright? Just go, in for a penny, in for a pound. It's a hollow gesture like, you know, when they put seatbelts on planes. Has anybody else ever thought about that? Why do planes have seatbelts? Like, I don't know why cars have seatbelts. I grew up in the 80s, right, where, you know, you'd have the PSA, where the car would drive in slow motion into a wall, and the crash test dummies would all go... And we'd all be like, good job they had those fucking seatbelts. Now, I'm a comedian, I'm no engineer by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know if a plane hits a wall, I don't think a seatbelt's gonna save you, you know? You know, and I travel a lot in this line of work. I do travel a lot, and so, you know, I'm on planes all the time, and I've gone to the point, I don't even pay attention to like the in-flight safety demonstration. Now, no judgment, does anybody still watch? No? Cool. Because there's no point, right? Because it's unrealistic to expect you to remain that calm if a plane begins to descend, right? Because again, with cars, we've all had a close call on the roads or the motorway. Like, we've all had a close call where you're like, oh shit, you're now prepared for that eventuality. You don't know how you're going to react if a plane descends from 10,000 feet. I'm just saying they should be a bit more realistic and take into account the human condition. If I was on a flight, I'd be like, look, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the flight, make yourselves comfortable, have your seatbelts on, I guess. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are a packed flight, so please take a look to your left or your right to work out who you might want to fuck, because if this plane goes down, it will be your last chance. And also, given where we're going, there's a chance a lot of you here might be drug mules. If you are carrying drugs right now, that's fine, but if we go down, you shit it out so we can get high before we die. Let's go! Because even when they go, if the cabin loses pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the overhead compartment. Take those and breathe calmly. Help out a child next to you. I always think, why the fuck would I help out this child that I did not create? If he wanted oxygen, he should have been crying the whole fucking time. Maybe he'd have some air left. Now, I don't hate kids, but kids on planes, like, we've all been on a flight about to enjoy our hard-earned holiday, and we see that family struggle to get on with their kids, and the kid's already kind of testy, and we've all thought, don't you fucking sit behind me. Because we all know, once they sit down, their holiday's begun, and now the kid wants to start karate lessons on the back of your chair. Now, you all seem like good people here, but whenever that's happening to me, I'm always like, please, Jesus, you know I'm a good man. But all I ask is for the door to open for that child to fly out into the fucking sky. In thy name, amen. And I know some of you are judging me, but like, that's a terrible thing to say about kids. Look, I'm a good person, but certain situations bring out the worst in good people, and public transport always does that. And I want to ask you a question, and if you guys say you're not like me, then I'm not going to believe you, but I want to ask you guys a question. We've all been on the underground, waiting a fucking long time for a train, a real long time for a train. 3 of them have gone past, jam-packed. And then you hear the guy go, ladies and gentlemen, we apologise for the delay to your service. This is due to an accident of somebody falling on the tracks. What's the first thing you think? They better be fucking dead. Better be dead. You know, not because you're bad people, but you know, in London, this is what happens. London brings this out in us. Is anybody here not from London? Cool, welcome to the sea, you're more than welcome. Happy to have you here. All I will say is, when you are getting to your stop, you need to get up before you get there. Nothing Londoners hate more than people being like, why won't people let me off? You should have been fucking ready. No. Same way, if you are making your way out of the tube station, you get to the barriers, have the Oyster card ready before you get to those barriers. We are underground. If zombies attack, we're all dead because you're an idiot. Right? I'm telling you. Now, finally, if you spend some time in central London and you find yourself wanting to go to the M&M store or the Kingdom of Sweets or American Sweets, slap yourself in the fucking face. Why are you trying to buy American Sweets in London? What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? When I'm in central London, I'm always up here working and stuff. I like to take a walk through Chinatown. I love Chinatown. I love Chinatown because Chinatown proves that when people say the problem with Muslims and immigrants that they don't integrate, Chinatown proves you don't give a fuck about integration. Well, that's their own town. They do things different in Chinatown. Chinese people don't have to integrate with anybody. What I admire about the Chinese, we're all like, Happy New Year! And they're like, Gung Hei Fat Choi when we say so. I'm a Virgo. I'm a pig. That's how it works in Chinatown. I'll give you guys some advice. If you have kids, you've got young kids, you might want to teach them Mandarin because China is becoming an emerging economy, becoming one of the world's superpowers. Like over 1.7 billion people there. They say if you stood still and the population of China walked past you in a single file line, at their current birth rate, that line would not stop. And I say that because with 1.7 billion people, there are going to be some mistakes. That's a lot of people being made, and that means that whenever I hear something about China, doesn't surprise me at all. When you got 1.7 billion people, some people are bound to be fucking crazy. If you make 1.7 billion CDs, some of them motherfuckers are going to be scratched, right? Like I read a story about a Chinese kid. He died because he masturbated for 26 hours watching porn on his PlayStation. And you're like, oh my god, it's China, baby, it happens. Plenty more Chinese people where that came from, man. Same way, like, you know, read a story about a dude who was going shopping with his partner and she was taking such a long time. You know what he did? Out of spite, he was like, I've had enough of this. He jumped off a balcony to his death. Because he would rather do that than spend another minute in Chinese H&M. Not crazy, it's just China. There's a lot of people there. And that's one of the great things about China. Even though people might try and stereotype the Chinese, you can't stereotype the Chinese. There's 1.7 billion people. If someone was like, I think, oh, Chinese men have small dicks, I'd be like, how do you know that? Because I've sucked 1 million Chinese dicks. Well, that is in no way representative of that population. Really, 1 million dicks is infinitesimal when you take into account that population. Now you got a heart full of hate and a mouth full of Chinese dicks. How do you feel about that? Like, you know, 1 billion is 1,000 millions, right? So, you know, that's not that much in the grand scheme of things. In the same way, if you told me that there are 500,000 people in China that would eat their own shit out of a yogurt pot, I'd be like, probably, that's not a big amount of people. And you know the best part is, because their government's so restricted, they'll never find out I said this shit. They don't want to find out. Unless you got snitch. That's nice. I feel like it's nice. So, here is a question for you guys. Do you think men and women can be just friends? No. Some say no. Some people, yes. Cool. I think men and women can be friends. I think sometimes the issues are that, like, I guess women have a higher emotional intelligence than men. Men find it very hard to suspend their emotions or suspend their logic when they think about things. But sometimes, like, I'll have conversations with my lady friends and they'll be like, oh, Dane, I had the worst day at work. This new girl started and she just shows up in these tight dresses with her big boobs and she's always flirting with all the guys. And then I've got to humour that as a friend and be like, oh my God, that's terrible. You know, maybe she needs some guidance. Give me her number so I can speak to her. Help out, that's just who I am as a person. Because I've noticed that, like, a lot of time with men, we tend to exchange the most malicious comments as a sign of friendship. I've also noticed that a lot of time women exchange the most friendly comments as a sign of malice. That's why when you argue with a lady and then after the argument was very heated and then afterwards you go, hey baby, you okay? She goes, yeah, I'm fine. You're divorced. That's, you know. Because I've seen two girls that hate each other in the same room and they don't like men. Like when I see my friends, I talk to them like I don't respect them at all. I'm like, oi, dickhead. Wait, smell my finger, that's your mom. I would die for those guys. When you see two women that hate each other in the same room, very cold, very cordial. It's like, hey, how's it going, Sarah? Oh, good evening, Rebecca. So nice to see you here. Of course. You too, Sarah. Nice shoes. And then my friend would tap me on the shoulder and be like, Dane, did you hear what that bitch said about my shoes? I don't understand, she said you had nice shoes. But you know what she meant. When she said I had nice shoes. And that's why we're not friends anymore, because last time we went on holiday, she slept with my best friend's ex-boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend, you said? That's right, she did it the second night we got there. The second night. That's right, Dane. Oh my God, that's terrible, no. Maybe she needs some guidance. Give me her number so I can speak to her. Just trying to help out. Now, there seems to be a lot of ladies here with their friends, and I don't want to just mansplain these observations. I'd like to test this theory right now. So you guys are friends, right? How long have you been friends for around?
4 years.
4 years, cool. What's your name, miss? Right?
Bada.
Bada, your name is?
Cat.
Gat?
Catherine.
Catherine. Kath and Bada. Bada?
Yeah.
It's a nice name. Alright, Catherine and Bada. I want to give you guys a scenario to see how you will act in this situation. No pressure, Catherine's gonna be all cool. Alright. Let's say it's the weekend. Catherine Bada's over your house. You guys are on the sofa, chilling out, watching your favorite TV show, sipping on some wine. Now Catherine Bada turns to you and she goes, oh, Kath, I'm kind of cold. What would you do in that situation, Kath?
I would turn the heat on or give her a blanket.
Turn the heat on or give her a blanket like a real friend would. Simple question with a simple answer from a good person, Catherine. Let me tell you about me and my friends. Alright. Bada, Catherine, everybody, tell you a story. I was over at my friend Mikey's house. We hanging out, chilling on the sofa, just watching Match of the Day. I turned to Mikey and I was like, hey Mikey, I'm kind of cold. And he said, it's probably because you have AIDS. Catherine Bada, what do you think happened after Michael made that comment? Huh? He laughed, and then he asked me to be his best man. I fucking love that guy. All right. That's right. That was a good wedding. I got on that stage, did that speech. I was like, AIDS, 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 AIDS. Hello, Mum. It was fun. Had a great time. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, you know, men are like that because we're very superficial in terms of how we look at things. We don't tend to read between the lines. I guess we can be shallow creatures. But there are some instances where I have found, in my personal experience, that sometimes women can be more shallow than men. But again, I'm not going to mansplain. I'm going to ask you guys a question, ladies in the room, and I would like an honest answer. Because I saw on a website that women appreciate honesty. But I want to check, is that true, ladies? Do you prefer honesty?
Yeah.
Yes? Are you sure about it? Because Catherine's like, yeah. I mean, I think when women say they want honesty, what they mean is, I'm going to ask you a question, and if I don't get the answer that I want, I'm going to be fine. I say this because I went to a lady's house recently and she made dinner. And she was like, Dane, I want you to try this. Tell me what you think. Be honest. I was like, are you sure? She was like, of course I'm sure. You know I love you. Tried the food, I was like, this is delicious. Could use a little bit of salt. Right? She went fucking ballistic. Like, what the I spent all day making this food. You come in my house and tell me how to cook? Get the hell out of my house! I'm like, hey, why don't you calm down, mom? Mom, food. I'm gonna be honest with you, Top Secret, some of that story is embellished. I did not raise my voice to my mother, are you fucking crazy? It was more like, oh mom, leave me alone, I don't want to. Anyway, we have that context, so now I'd like to ask the ladies in the room a question, and I appreciate an honest answer. Now keep it in mind, my job on stage is to observe, not to judge. So you can be honest, there'll be no judgment from me. So ladies, by show of hands, how many of you in this room right now would be with a man 5 inches shorter than you? I have what? I have 2. And you're sitting next to someone taller than you, so put your hand down. So we have a grand total of 1. So what? One lady. Yeah. There you go, see? Like I said, there is no judgment here because a lot of it is down to social conditioning. Like women are taught this idea that a bigger man is going to be able to protect them from the world and stuff. And I'm not judging because it's one of the only double standards that women get to enjoy when it comes to dating. 2 things that women can do that men really can't do is discriminate against shorter partners and also talk about bisexual experiences and the outcome's positive. Like we go on a date with a girl and at dinner she's like, you know, I studied chemistry at university, played a bit of netball. Alright, once, confession time, I got really drunk in a game of truth or dare at uni and I went down on one of my friends and licked her pussy a few times. It was a crazy thing and the guy would be like, this is the best story I've ever heard, please give it to me. Men can't really do that. The guy you can't be like, yeah, university was fun, I studied chemistry, I played a bit of rugby, sucked my friend's dick once. I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? No, it was better, I was drunk, that's why. Nobody's been that drunk. I say this with the utmost respect. There are people in this room that have sucked a dick before. You can't do that without thinking about it. You lose an eye that way. That's a concerted effort. You can't be sucking dicks willy-nilly. Because I've been drunk before. I've been so drunk. Once I left the nightclub, right? I was trying to get something to eat. Went to a McDonald's drive-thru. I'm outside being like, hey! Hey! Can I get a chicken legend meal, please? Because you are what you eat, baby. Yeah. They were like, no, sir. I'm afraid you can't. And I was like, why? Why would you serve me in 2019, you sons of bitches? Just because I'm black? No, sir. I'm homeless and this is a cash point. You're not even driving a car. Like, I've been that drunk before. But I've never been out with my friends and been like, one more Jaeger bomb, I'ma start sucking some dicks up in here. What goes better with Jägermeister and Red Bull but diggity dick? That is not something I've ever said. And it's the same thing with short partners. Normally we take a lady, let's say she's 5'1". She goes on a date with a 6'4" guy, society will not bat an eyelid. The next day at brunch with the ladies, everyone's like, hey there Karen, how'd that date go last night? Oh, it went pretty well, we finally made love and he picked me up while we were having sex. Oh, Karen? You saucy minx. Now if you don't know, saucy minx is how women call each other sluts, but in solidarity. Karen, you a saucy minx girl. Better get yourself some of that lanky penis. Now, let's change the scenario. We take a gentleman, let's say he's 5'5". He goes on a date with like a 5'8" lady. It's a very different story. The next day everyone's like, hey there Kevin, how'd that date go last night? Yeah, it went pretty well. We finally did the deed and she picked me up while we were having sex. I'm sorry, Kevin, what the fuck did you just say? Why did she pick you up, Kevin? Did you need to be breastfed? What the fuck is wrong with you, Kevin? Kevin, can you stop meeting women at WrestleMania? This is not okay. It's not okay, Kevin. Stop dating cage fighters, Kevin. It's bad for you. And I think, it's not a fair presumption to have, I don't suppose for a second my shorter counterparts are any weaker than taller men, and it's fucked up because I have a friend and he's 5'4"3/4, and my God, you better say those quarters, bro. When you ask a short man his height, it's like asking a toddler their age. You better include those fractions. There are going to be issues. And he has like what people call short man syndrome because like he's had this stigma about him. If anyone says stuff to him, he thinks you're making fun of his height. Like it'd be the smallest thing, I'd be like, hey man, I think it's about to rain. Why are you telling me for, Dane? Because raindrops hit your head first. I've felt rain before. Fuck you, bro. It's nice. Fucked up, you'd be getting like anxiety attacks on roller coasters and shit. Like it's... And saying that, in the interest of trying to buck the trend of toxic masculinity, I'll tell you guys, I'm scared of roller coasters. I find roller coasters scary. Now, anyone in here enjoys roller coasters, I'm not a fan. You know why? Have you seen the kind of people that control roller coasters? They are many things, but they are not engineers. Normally, you find that roller coasters are being controlled by teenagers. Now, I'm not sure if you've met teenagers at work, they don't give a fuckity fuck about their jobs. Because when you're a teenager, you don't enjoy like a theme park on a superficial level. You're too old for that, but you're also too young to have a regular career because you don't have the qualifications or experience. So when you're a teenager, normally you have to work in leisure or hospitality or retail to make ends meet. So you're spending your summer watching everybody else have fun, and what you really want to be doing is fingering people. You can't finger people at a fairgrounds. No, come on, buddy, that's what fairgrounds are for, man. Have some class. Do that at a carnival. Now, other reason I hate roller coasters is because I am the oldest boy out of me and my cousins. So it means I'm in charge, which means when we go to like theme parks, my cousins, the girl cousins go and do their thing. Boy cousins are together, there's 3 of us. So they gotta go together because, they're younger and I gotta sit next to a stranger so they can avoid stranger danger. Which don't make any sense, and you know what's scarier than going on a roller coaster by yourself? Sitting next to somebody who likes going on roller coasters by their fucking self. Because like, anyone ever been on a roller coaster where like the thing that holds you in comes down, but sometimes it's not tight enough? And you're like, there's a lot of space here. And you say to this the teenager guy, you're like, hey man, this ain't tight enough. And he's like... So I start to panic a little bit, so I turn to the other dude, I'm like, hey man, this ain't tight, what about yours? And he's like, I like mashed potatoes! And you're like, what? So now, the last thing I gotta worry about is the fact that this roller coaster, like, you've all been on roller coasters, you have to go through the gift shop, right? And they always put up the pictures for the souvenirs. And you all have that same Facebook picture from a roller coaster when you were a kid. Someone goes, remember this? And your face is like that. And I don't want to have that face. Like, I don't look like an idiot in front of my friends because I'll be the bitch for the day. And all these thoughts are running through my mind. I'm on this roller coaster, it's going out real gradual. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I don't do this. Like, I'm from South East London. I'm in danger when I leave my house anyway. Why do I need to? The camera's there, I don't look like a dick. And then the ride, when the ride goes, ding, ding, king. You're like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to. That's stupid. Spoke about some crazy shit tonight. I don't have much time, so I feel like we should finish on something positive. There's a lot of people in here in the audience together, hands being held, love being exchanged. That's what I like to see. Now, let's all remember that no one else here pays rent in your bedroom. You do whatever you want. But the most important thing when it comes to sex, consent. I know that's a dumb thing to say, but some people don't understand that no means no. Even though we live in England, and no is probably the first word you learn in English, apparently some people don't understand that no means no. And you even have a group of people on the internet call themselves incels, and they'll still say shit like, yeah, but if she's dressed like a slut, she's asking for it. That's never been an argument, because no one's ever been beaten up on the way home from judo. No means no. Even if someone is laying naked in your bed, if they change their mind at the last minute, you can't be like, you were leading me on. That's their fucking choice, okay? No means no. Just like when you finish having sex, alright? Thank you, ladies. Just like, when you finish having sex and someone says, hey, could I stay the night? No. Means no. Means no. That's how equality works. Because, I want you to know I am a complete equal opportunities, right? And I'm completely for that, Catherine, because,
But equal opportunity games,
yeah,
equal opportunity prizes.
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And to everyone else, that was vague, Catherine, but I totally got it. I got it. Because I'm completely support ally, and women was like, women should be able to do everything that men do. And I agree, but please keep in mind, not everything that men do is a good idea. Like, for a start, that whole patriarchy thing that where we oppress you, like, bad idea, innit? So, don't do everything that we do. Because I know women say stuff like, I don't want to be slut-shamed, I should be able to fuck whoever I want. Well, men don't do that. Men don't fuck who they want. They fuck who they can. That's how that works. So, I will see what I can do later on tonight. But this has been real fun. If you guys have enjoyed what you heard, then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, find some more clips on there, enjoy yourselves. And I'll be doing a tour of the country next year, so please go onto my website and my details will be upstairs. In the meantime, have a good week. I've been Dane Baptiste. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.